Welcome to episode 0 of KJ and Caldwell, a football podcast. Mr. Stephen Caldwell, my partner in crime.
Can't wait.
Finally do it.
Yes, it's been a long time coming, isn't it?
Well, we've been talking about this for some time, and we are very excited to launch this football podcast. It's something that we wanted to do for some time. Obviously, we talk for a living about many things on soccer on air, but we always felt there was another area that we wanted to take that conversation, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we're here. My name is Christian Jack. I work at TSN with Stevie, and been in the industry for over 20 years now, covering the game. And I'm just really excited to talk to Stevie about all aspects of things and give our own opinions on the sport going forward. And very often we'll come off a broadcast on TSN on the weekend and feel like we want to talk more about it. Well, now we've got these very pretty red and blue microphones to do that, Stevie.
Yeah, I'm loving these microphones. Pretty cool. I feel like I'm live on stage here or something. But
yeah,
my name's Stephen Caldwell, and I am a colleague of Christian Jack. I'm fortunate enough to join him in the TSN studio a lot of times. But I was a professional football player. I had about an 18-year career between the Championship and the Premier League in England. I played for my country, Scotland, a few times as well, and I came over to MLS in 2013 to play for Toronto FC, and that's why I'm here in the wonderful country of Canada. And loved it, loved every minute of playing. I was lucky enough to captain a number of teams, and I very much enjoy working with the man opposite me in many different formats, and I'm sure this is going to be another one.
Yeah, we're going to look to, obviously, as what we always try and do, is tick the boxes of informing, educating, but entertaining as well, and certain aspects of the things we can't get into in our other show, we certainly can do here, have a few more opinions and laughs about it. Look, I know there's a lot of podcasts out there about the sport, but you talk about your background there, some of those leagues that you talked on. We're going to be talking a lot about the Premier League and MLS on this podcast going forward. Of course, we'll have the ability to talk about other leagues as well, and look, our eyes are across everything, aren't they? Champions League, and we can get to international breaks and Euros and World Cups. We're going to be talking about that as well. But the great thing about this podcast that we want to do is really get into a bit more of a breakdown, a tactical breakdown, and an in-depth analysis, particularly maybe around 1 or 2 games per weekend, and that might be MLS and Premier League. It might be both. It might be one, depending on where we go with the big stories. We're going to try and do these every single week. They'll be dropping into your iTunes and Stitcher and different things and that every Monday. And we also want to do this because we want to have an ability to connect with the fans. Yeah. We're going to talk to you and ask questions. We're going to find out from things with you as well, and have that a little bit more laid back chat that we can have. Yeah,
that's exactly what we want. We want to talk about things that catch our eye wherever that is. And we're two guys that consume a lot of soccer. Like we said, predominantly that will be Premier League and MLS, but we watch Copa Libertadores final a few weeks ago, the Liga MX. So we're guys that love the game. There's going to be things that come up, players that come up, moments in games, tactics, everything associated with football that excites us. We'll be talking about in this podcast, and again, reiterate, we want your opinions, we want your messages, your word on what we're talking about, and things that have caught your eye, and I'm sure that will come up as well. It's very much interactive, isn't it?
100% it is. The other thing we don't want to shy away from is that we are in Canada, and there's a very exciting time for the sport here in Canada. We're all looking towards 2026 as well, with obviously the World Cup coming here, the new Canadian Premier League as well. We're going to talk about certain things like that, but we also want to talk to people all around the world, but also people within Canada, of what you've seen in the Premier League and world soccer. The other thing we have is that we have access, so we're going to quite a lot of these games. We're broadcasting some of these games. We're talking to the professionals within the game, the players, the coaches, the media, and we're going to get some guests on. We're going to have those people. Maybe we'll do a live interview at the stadium. We'll bring back and we'll put on the podcast. We'll get them on the phone sometimes. Lots of different guests, players, coaches, media members, you name it. Yeah. We've got contacts and friends in the industry that are more than willing to come on and already asking to do so. Yeah. So hopefully the listener will enjoy that as well.
Yeah, I think that's really important. We're all about collaboration and and bringing everybody in. I love how you said there'll be different types of people. This just won't be a guy that I played with 20 years ago or anything like that. This will be current players, younger players, journalists, people that are right next to the action or have an expertise in that area, that club, that incident. They will be joining us on this show. This will be a great experience. We're very, very excited to see where we can take this, and I think it's a wonderful time for Canada soccer. We're heading to a home World Cup in 8 years' time, and everything that's going to come, all the drama, all the excitement, all the ups and downs leading towards that, you'll find it here on this podcast.
Yeah, certainly. Finally, from us, I think what I can speak collectively from both of us is that we remain thoroughly impressed with the education of the game in this country, and the viewers, the listeners, the consumers, how much you love the sport and how it's growing, and want to have those in-depth conversations about the sport, obviously while having fun as well. And your participation is absolutely needed. Please use the hashtag AskAFP, Ask a Football Podcast. Get your questions in and we can feature them on the show. Subscribe on Apple iTunes, Stitcher Radio. We'll be in your podcast player Monday morning starting January the 14th, and we cannot wait to get started.
Can't wait. Let's get going.